Grape was elegant and very graceful. She seemed to float on the air as she crossed the garden early one summer morning. The birds were singing a dawn chorus which was quite breathtaking. Grace stopped moving and listened. Now why can't the garden gang make sounds like that, she thought. It was then that she had her most magnificent idea. I know, she said to herself. We will have a garden gang orchestra. What wonderful noises we shall make. I must organize it myself this very day. Of course, I shall play the flute. She turned and off she went. When she got home, she took a large sheet of clean paper from a drawer and began to write on the top in big, bold letters, Garden Gang Orchestra. Then, underneath, she made a list of instruments usually played in an orchestra. She also wrote a garden gang's member's name beside each instrument. The next thing she did was to call a meeting of the garden gang to see what they thought of her idea. They were all thrilled and eagerly went off to practice with the instruments she had lent them. Can you guess who plays each instrument? Wait, and you will see. Now began the practicing. Dreadful noises flooded out from every corner of the garden. Horrified insects scurried back to their hideouts. Snails retreated into their shells. The birds were silent, and the toads and frogs dived into the waters of the lily pond and buried their heads in the mud at the bottom. As weeks went by, the creatures in the garden became used to the strange noises. Either that or the noises improved. Sometimes a few of the garden gang would collect together behind a hedge or tree and practice, playing harmonies on their various instruments. I think it's time we had a proper rehearsal, said Grace Grape as she glided towards a group of violinists. Where would be the best place to hold it? In my shed after dark, said the gruff voice of Peter Potato. If I clear it out, there will be plenty of room. So the next evening after dark, the garden gang members began to arrive in groups at Peter Potato's shed, each one carrying a precious instrument. Soon they had arranged themselves in the shed, leaving room, of course, for the music stands. But they couldn't start because they hadn't a conductor. Let's ask Tobias Turnip, called Roger Radish's little voice from the back of the shed. He understands music. A good idea, they all cried. Away ran Lawrence Lemon to bring Tobias to the rehearsal. Tobias was pleased to help, but said that to hold concerts they should have a real conductor. They practiced for hours and hours. The velvet sounds of Polly Pomegranate's cello blended beautifully with the sharper notes of the violins, played by the blackcurrants. Roger Radish surpassed himself as he beat out the deep rhythms on the timpani with his feet. But the star was Grace, with her silver-toned flute. They held their first concert 2 weeks later. Fruit and vegetable people came from all the neighbouring gardens. Tobias Turnip had invited the very famous Monsieur Cornelius Courgette from Paris to conduct. As the evening progressed, glorious sounds floated on the evening air. Grace sighed happily as she realized that her idea had been a great success.
And this story is called Robert Raspberry. Robert Raspberry was really inquisitive. He would ask questions from morning till night and could never resist going where he shouldn't go and doing what he shouldn't do. His parents became quite worried because they felt that people would think him bad-mannered. "One of these days," his mother would often say, "your inquisitive ways will land you in serious trouble. We don't mind answering your questions, but I'm afraid that other people will think you're spying on them. Please try to remember that."
"Yes,"
said Robert. But Robert soon forgot his promise when later he saw Oliver Onion busy on his rockery.
"Why are you using a trowel? Why has it got a yellow handle? Why are you digging there? What seeds are you using? When will they grow? Where is your hat? Is this your rockery?"
he asked all at once. "Stop! Stop!" cried Oliver. "My head is in a whirl. Please don't ask so many questions. At least, not all at once. You can learn an awful lot just by watching carefully."
"Why? When? How?"
asked Robert. "Oh, please go and watch someone else," said Oliver. One day, he was walking through the park when he saw a notice which said, "Please keep off the grass."
"I wonder why,"
thought Robert, and immediately stepped onto the soft green turf. "Get off the grass!" called a very cross park keeper. Robert quickly ran away. Once, when Robert went to the zoo, he was busily feeding the monkeys, where a big notice said, "Please do not feed the animals." A large monkey grabbed the food he offered, and would have grabbed Robert too, if it had not been for a kind lady who was passing and pulled him clear. The strictly private sign outside a big house fascinated Robert.
"I must find out why that sign is there,"
he thought. He soon found out. As he opened the gate to go in, a large, noisy dog came bounding down the path towards him. Robert ran until he was safely out of sight.
"Silly dog,"
he thought. Robert Raspberry loved to read. His mother often brought him library books. But one day she said, "Would you like to come with me to the library this afternoon?"
"Chatter, chatter,"
said Robert when they were in the library. "Shh, shh," said the librarian. "Can't you read the notice in here? It says, 'Silence.'" Poor Robert. Although the notice by the pond said, "No fishing," Robert just had to get out his rod and try his hand at fishing. He hadn't been there for more than 5 minutes when an angry farmer picked him up by his trouser seat and took him back to his parents. "Please keep this young raspberry under control," he said. Would he never learn his lesson? Each day, Robert's parents became more and more embarrassed by the things he did. "He really is very bright," said his mother. "So why can't he be sensible, like most other people?" "He needs a short, sharp shock," said Robert's father. The shock came sooner than they thought. Robert was standing by a gate near which was an enormous sign which read, "Bull in field, keep out."
"What's a bull?"
thought Robert, and nimbly jumped over the gate into the tall grass. What a shock he got as the gigantic animal came charging at him. He leapt to the fence with one bound and ran for his life. After that, he was always very sensible.